In this video, folks, we are going to be giving a whole MLS predictions preview video. We're gonna talk about all the transfers. We're gonna give our predictions for awards, predictions for the standings, and who we think's gonna win the whole thing. I'll put timestamps for each section we're gonna go to.
Inter Miami's winning it all here.
Probably not, but I do think they'll win the East. We'll be talking about top 10 transfers, East standings, West standings, MVP, MLS Best XI, MLS Cup Winner, Comeback Player of the Year, Defender of the Year, Keeper of the Year, Golden Boot, East playoff predictions, and West playoff predictions.
And other storylines.
So let's get started with the top 10 transfers of this MLS season.
With the transfers, I like the Mexicans that have been coming to the USA.
All right, I'll give you my top 10. Number 10, I'll have Ty Baribo. A decent replacement from Christian Benteke, but personally, I don't think he's a designated player. That's why I'm going to put him at number 10 because I don't think he's that good. I actually think he's a little overrated just because he had a good season last year. They gave him the DP spot. Number 9, I'll go Walker Zimmerman. Probably one of the best defenders in this past 5 years. The MLS went from Nashville to Toronto. So Toronto now got their good center back. Number 8, Lewis Morgan, who's also my player for Comeback Player of the Year. Barely played last year. Probably played like 100 minutes with. Number 7, Christian Espinosa. Now
This was a funny story. I explained in the podcast, but the way I was wording it was really weird, so I'll just do it separate from this podcast. But the Christian Espinosa story, he was with the San Jose Earthquakes, and he had an option, like it was a team option to stay. He wanted to stay. The team wanted him to stay, but they just forgot to trigger the option to keep him on the roster for next year. So then he just became a free agent and went to Nashville.
Number 6, not really a transfer, but more of a, because he was on last year, but it's Tesho Allende from Inter Miami. He was on the team last year, but now they got him fully because he was on loan last year. Obviously, he killed it last year. Number 5, Hector Herrera. Used to play in the MLS a few years back. Played for the Dynamo. Went to the Mexican League. He's now back in the Dynamo. Number 4, which might be a little bit of favoritism, but he's definitely top 10 in my opinion. Facundo Torres, Orlando City legend, all-time leading goal scorer. When I heard he was coming back to MLS, I was thinking, oh, we have a DP spot. Let's get him. Even though we already have Pasalic on his spot. He's on Austin, so that sucks, but at least I'll be rooting for Austin a little bit. Number 3, also kind of like the Tesho Allende, Rodrigo De Paul. Everyone knows who he is. Another Atletico Madrid player. Very good. Number 2, Timo Werner. Another European good player from Leipzig. Bounced around in Europe. Now on the Earthquakes, which Earthquakes could have been good if they kept their best player because they lost Joseph Martinez, Chicho Arango, Christian Espinosa. If he was with those 3, that'd probably be one of the best teams. And then number 1, James Rodriguez. If you know soccer, you know who he is. I don't even got to explain.
Thank you for getting one. Michael Halliday transferred to Houston.
No, he's gone. He got cut by Houston. He's out of the league. Hello,
you got cut by Houston?
He's a free agent. Nobody wants him. Not only did he get cut by Houston, he got cut by the Houston B team.
Yeah, let's see you play against Arsenal, huh?
Yeah, I'll show you that pop up. I'll pop that up on the screen as stupid friends. All right, is there anything else you want to talk about transfers?
I mean, transfers aren't really good enough to make a list for because all the best transfers are the DP spots. Obviously, Rodrigo De Paul and Timo Werner coming to the MLS. That's huge. Always love to see the European talents come to the MLS.
More eyes on the MLS too because of that.
Hopefully they don't have MLS fatigue like Messi. Pretty much everyone who came from Europe to the MLS in their first season has MLS fatigue. So
let's get on to our East standings.
I didn't really make a standings list. However, I know whoever's going to be first this year is going to go out in the first round, obviously.
Whoa,
happens almost every year.
It does, usually because of the bye. But the buys doesn't really happen anymore.
You try to hard in the regular season, you get knocked out in the first round. It's just how it is.
Number 15, Montreal Impact. Suck. They've been sucked for a while. They did get one of my favorite players whose autograph is, I don't know, one of these. Dagger Dan, he's one of my favorite players, but he's not changing the team. 14, New York Red Bulls. It feels like they've just been losing players every single year. They haven't gotten anybody. Red Bulls are going to be my number 14. Same thing with New England. Just haven't really been good. Caleb Porter's not really a good coach either. Just then we'll put him at the bottom. 12, DC. Not a good team last year. They were last year. I think they might have been last or second to last. I'll move them up one spot. They did lose Benteke, which was probably one of the best MLS strikers within the last couple of years, but the teams below them I just think will be worse. Number 11, Toronto. They lost all those Italians last year. They lost Insigne, Bernardeschi. Even with them, they weren't that good, and I still don't think they'll be that good. Number 10, just missing the playoff spot. Atlanta United. They have Almiron, who's a decent player, but he's not going to really change that team around. Number 9, which I personally think this is probably too high, but I had to put my Orlando City in there because I always try to look at the ceiling. And the ceiling for me this year, as much last 5 years, it's been all about trying to win the title. They never got it done.
It's ultimate talent.
They lost over 10 players. So I'll put them at 9. Realistically, they should be lower, but if they make 9, I will be happy. Number 8, New York City FC. Pretty underrated team, usually, because I always think they stink, and they usually end up in the middle of the pack. But I'm going to just put them as a wild card team. I don't think they'll be able to keep that up. Number 7, Chicago Fire. I know you hate the coach. I know you think Berhalter sucks, but I think he's a pretty good coach. I'll put him at 7. I don't think they'll really go far, but I do think they'll squeak in. 6, Philadelphia Union. Losing a few players from last year. They lost Ty Baribo. They lost Gazdag. They lost Kai Wagner. And they were the Supporters' Shield winner, even though I also think they really weren't that good and can't compete it with those players, especially losing those players. I'll put them at number 6.
Kevon Sullivan, he's coming into the MLS. What impact do you think he'll have on Philadelphia?
Not much. I think his brother's better. I don't think he's that good. I saw him in person too. I let him have it. I don't think he's that special. Maybe in the future he'll be special, but right now.
Elaborate on let him have it. What do you mean by let him have it?
You see, I would tell you, but I want to post this into a video, so I'm not going to say. Number 5, Charlotte. They did get Pep Biel, which honestly I probably should have put him on the top 10 transfers list because he was on loan last year and now is officially on the team, and he's a pretty good player. They did lose Adjiman, but even without Adjiman last year, they still did pretty decent. Number 4, Nashville. They've been a pretty consistent team for the last 5 years. Mukhtar is one of the best players. Sam Sturridge, who was second in the Golden Boot last year, even though I think he's a little overrated, but he's still a good player. Number 3, Columbus Crew. Also, they did lose Will Fernandes as their coach, but they got good players all around, and they'll be up there. Number 2, Cincinnati. They got Evander. He's probably a top 10 player in this league, and they're going to be up there again. And then number 1, as much as I hate to say it, it's Inter Miami. I can't put them any lower. Just they got Messi. When you got Messi, they're in contention to win every single game, no matter what the score is.
You really think they're going to try that hard in the regular season?
I don't think they'll be worse than last year. You even said a lot of their players sucked, and they got a lot of good replacements. They got St. Clair, which he could have probably been another top 10 transfer. He's one of the best goalies in the league. They got rid of their 38-year-old goalie that they literally gave a contract extension in the middle of last year just to terminate him. I don't know why. But.
I'd like to see Charlotte at 2. I feel like Charlotte's going to win it all, personally, but
What?
The only thing I'm confident in is Sporting Kansas City having absolutely no chance. No chance whatsoever.
They suck. I even saw like some comments from KC fans, and they're just like, "We're gonna get last. This team sucks. Why not make any transfers?" I forgot. They do have I think they have like one player that's decent. I forgot his name. It's some name I don't know how to pronounce. But they even lost some of they were already bad to begin with, and then they lost Eric Thami, and he was probably their second best player last year.
They're no Chiefs, I'll tell you that.
And they're going to be neighbors with the Chiefs because Chiefs are going to be right next to them in Kansas. Anything else you want to say for East standings since you don't have a 1 through 15?
Martinez, has he bounced around to another team or?
Who, Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph Martinez.
I believe he is a free agent. I haven't heard him signing with a new team. Let's confirm it right now on my phone. Joseph Martinez. He is not in the MLS anymore. He is in the Mexican League. He plays for Tijuana now.
Oh, good for him.
That scumbag Martinez is out of the league. I personally think my friend Kobe ruined his career because he was on a streak of wishing people injuries, and it worked. He wished Dak Prescott would break his leg, broke his leg.
Jesus fucking Christ. What is wrong with your friend?
He wished, I forgot, there was another player in the sport, and it happened.
What
And then
the
he says, I
wrong
hope
with
Joseph Martinez breaks his leg, and he tore his ACL. Let's get on to West predictions. You want to talk about any of the Western standings? You said KC's going to be towards the bottom. Do you think they'll be dead last?
Dead last, absolutely. If they were in the MLB, they'd win. I don't even know if they'd win 55 games. It's bad.
I'll give you my West predictions now. Number 15, it's not going to be Sporting Kansas City. I'm going to go St. Louis City, which I've actually been to their stadium before. Pretty cool stadium. They were not a good team last year, and they just lost their best player, Joe Claus. For 14, I'll put Sporting KC. We already talked about them, so we can move on. Number 13, Colorado Rapids. Stunk last year. Got nobody. Just a bunch of, apparently from their fans, all they do is sign a bunch of defenders. And you ain't going to win with defenders in MLS.
You don't have any in Aronson?
Yeah, he is on the Rapids. But guess what? Aronson's not going to win you soccer games.
Yeah, he's a midfielder. That's absolutely true.
Number 12, Salt Lake City. Just a team that's been a little below average. Still made no moves. We'll put them at 12. Number 11, San Jose. Now, this team, I might have put it in last place. But with the addition of Timo Werner, he's going to help them win some games. But they're still going to miss the playoffs, in my opinion. Number 10, Houston. Team that was not good last year. They did clean house, though. They got rid of a lot of players and brought in Hector Herrera and some other Mexican that was from Cruz Azul. But I don't think it'll be enough for them just to win a lot of games. Hector Herrera is a good player, but he's like a Sergio Busquets. He's not going to really win you games. He's just going to help you control a game. But
I bet you're expecting they got rid of Halliday.
Yeah, that scumbags doesn't have a team anymore.
Maybe you should make a video just titled "I Hate Mikey Halliday" and then just ran on about Mikey Halliday.
It's good. Number 9. So now we're into playoff teams. Wild card. Portland Timbers. Team that's usually pretty good, but I do think they will move down just a little bit. I don't really feel like they'll be in contention for anything. Number 8. If you're still in here, Gabe, I have your FC Dallas at number 8. They do like their striker, Peter Musa, but Peter Musa is can't compete with a lot of these West teams because a lot of these West teams are pretty good. Number 7, Seattle, another team that's always been consistent, but I do think they'll move down a couple spots and just make number 7, barely squeak in the playoffs, and then just lose. 6, Minnesota, good team last year, and they just added James, which is crazy to think they'll be number 6, but I like a lot of these teams above them. Number 5, San Diego, which I know they're a top 2. They might have won the Supporters Shield. It was either them or Vancouver. I forgot. They do have Chucky Lozano, great player, but he may be out soon. And if they lose Chucky, they're going to lose quite a few points because he is a very good player. They're having, I don't know if it's contract disputes. I don't know if he wants to leave, but hasn't been playing for their CONCACAF Champions League game.
All I know is they were definitely the surprise team of last year, and
100%.
I feel like they're a surprise team this year. I feel like they're going to be maybe 9th in their conference.
I think they're going to be moving down the charts, maybe, especially if they lose Lozano. Yeah. Number 4 is a little, a lot of people might not expect this, but I'm going to put Austin. Facundo Torres, I've watched all of his games in Orlando, and especially second half of the year, he always starts off cold. Second half of the year, he scores goals all the time. And they also have that, Brandon Vasquez, another good player, used to play in Cincinnati. I think those two will work very well together and going to win them a lot of games. All right, number 3, LA Galaxy. The worst team in the league last year. I'm putting them at number 3 now. And if they had Ricky Puig, might honestly have them at 1. But Ricky Puig's out for the year. So they still got Royce. And then they had multiple transfers come in. Like good transfers. Number 2, Vancouver Whitecaps, Thomas Muller, Ben White or Brian White, whatever his name is, Sebastian Berhalter. They're going to be good again. And then number 1, LAFC. You got stars all around. Son Heung-min, Danny Bouanga, if he stays, but I think he'll stay. But that's my West predictions.
Man, you are just killing these names, man.
Saying them wrong?
Ricky and White.
How do you say his name?
Ricky
Puig?
Puig.
Puig.
I mean, if you tuned into any LA Galaxy matches, you definitely know because
Not very often.
I don't know what it is, but the Apple TV announcers, they just go Puig this, Puig that, Puig this.
All right. Moving on. Awards. Who's going to be your MLS MVP?
You already know.
Oh, he's got the jersey. It's disgusting. Oh, that's gross.
Well, you guys shit on your jersey. Your jersey is stained with shit.
Back to our awards talk. My MVP. I pick Messi as well. The only way he doesn't win, injuries, which probably going to happen. It just depends how long. International breaks, he might miss a couple games for that, and then rest as well. But even then, he did miss multiple games. Like, he probably had 12 less games than Sam Sturridge, and he still had more goals than him in the Golden Boot. All right. MLS Best XI. Would you like to go first?
I'll just give you the highlights of my Best XI because a lot of them are pretty hard to pronounce. Goalkeeper Chris Brady. I feel like this year's his year. I also feel like he's going to win Keeper of the Year.
I personally don't think he's actually that good, to be honest. At least when I see him in games, he sucks.
I mean, the penalty shootout, he wasn't that good, but
I remember you told me against Philly.
Oh, yeah. Another defender, Peyton Miller. I feel like that's just going to be a breakout year for him. Most of these defenders I have, they're not really good per se, like Nicholas Romero.
Defenders is honestly the hardest one to do
on
here.
They're not really that good. I just feel like it's going to be like a massive breakout year for them.
So you're going with the young guys. I went with the vets on mine, which I'll tell you after you do yours.
Midfield, I got DePaul with Inter Miami. I feel like his first full year in the MLS, he's going to play a significant amount of games. I feel like he won't be out as much as Messi and Suarez are, despite him being better than Messi. And he might be better than Messi and Suarez this year. But
he's going to be better than Suarez.
Suarez
is declining.
I feel like he'll put up some solid production. And next, Paxton Aronson, Colorado. Their entire franchise is the copycat of the Avalanche. They're not a very good franchise, and I feel like signing him was definitely one of the highlights of the franchise. But DePaul, Aronson, and Jack McGlynn. Like you said,
I like the way you're thinking. You're going a lot of young guys. Me on the opposite. I'm going with the vets. Mine's literally all vets.
Houston, they're a totally new revamped team, and I feel like that's going to produce a good season for him. But in the attacking, it's pretty much just Messi and Hwang-Sun Min. I feel like Min, I do have him as my Golden Boot winner. I feel like you said, LAFC, they're just surrounded by stars, and as the striker of that team, he's going to put up the most production and end up with the Golden Boot. So what about your best 11?
First off, about Son, I think he might be neck and neck with Bouanga because Bouanga, I think he's the actual striker, and they usually put Son on the wing because Bouanga's an elite goal scorer. But now that I'm looking at my list, I have a lot of LAFC on here, but goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. I put the old guy, put the vet. We all know what he's capable of, but like I said, we're going with the vets. Defense. This is probably not the only vet or non-vet I got. Miles Robinson from FC Cincinnati. And I got Walker Zimmerman, the newly acquired Toronto player who's been on it multiple years. And then the third one, I kept thinking I would have put Robin Yodson, but he's going to probably miss the first couple months of the year. Just when you think Orlando's getting worse, he gets some random surgery out of nowhere. I don't even know what happened to him. But my third one is former Orlando player, even though I hate him, but Kamal Miller. He's been improved very well. When he was in Orlando,
was not that good, and he played as a fullback. Now he's one of the best center backs in the league, and he starts for Canada. All right, midfield.
Dirty.
I had Rodrigo
player.
DePaul, but I took him out in the last second because I put Marco Royce instead. And then I have Evander, FC Cincinnati player. In my opinion, he's definitely up there for one of the best players in the league. Maybe an underdog for the Golden Boot. James Rodriguez. I feel like he can be a very good player, or he actually might be crap. Like, he's one of those players that can come to the MLS and just not do anything. But I'm just going to put him in there because I think he'll adjust fine. And my last midfielder, Thomas Muller. He came in and he played excellent last year. And the very last Orlando City game I went to, we go up early against Vancouver. And then we park the bus. Boom. Vancouver scores around like the 80th something minute. Still parking the bus. These guys are the only ones trying to score. And then Thomas Muller in extra time, banger outside the box. Oh, I got so mad. And then went to the MLS Cup final, lost to Inter Miami. Forwards, Messi. If I have him as my MVP, he's going to be on there. Son Heung-min as well.
Hold on,
pretty self-explanatory.
You feel like the MLS first year fatigue is just going to be non-existent with the incoming transfers?
The only person I might think it might be is James. But out of these newer ones, I think Timo Werner will be good. I don't think he'll be great. I don't think he's going to be super great. Like I said, I feel like he'll help San Jose win a couple games. But maybe by his second year, I think he'll be really, really good if they get a better team around him. It's just I don't think his team's good at all. And he can only do so much with the team he's got. I said Messi, I said Son, and the last one, Danny Bouanga. We'll get on to the next topic since we're talking about it. MLS Cup winner, I'm going to go LAFC as my MLS Cup winner, which you already mentioned yours, but you can say it again.
Charlotte FC, they're going to have a breakout year in production, goal scoring. Actually have, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Toklomati. Here's their striker. I feel like he's going to have a really breakout year. He might even...
think he's better than Ajiman.
No, but he will give Son Min a run for his money when it comes to the Golden Boot. I have him on my best 11. He will produce this year. So that's what I'm going to say.
You got bold predictions. I got boring predictions. Comeback player of the year. I said earlier I'm going to go Lewis Morgan. I feel like he's a very good player. And since off the top of my head, I couldn't really think of many players like who didn't play much last year that got hurt and is going to be back this year. So I chose Lewis Morgan. There may be someone that's better than him that had an injury, but just none could come off the top of my head.
It's going to be Quinn Sullivan. It's only a matter of time till he comes back, and I feel like his career's not really going to digress from his injury, and he's just going to get back to dominating. And he was just a huge factor in the game before, and nothing's really going to change that when he comes back. So it's obviously going to be Quinn Sullivan. It's
a good pick. My pick might honestly be better than mine. I do think Quinn Sullivan's a better player. Like I said, he's better than his bum brother. That was a good pick. I forgot that he got hurt last year. All right. Defender of the year. Who you got?
Falou Fall.
Me, I'm going to go Miles Robinson. No vets this time. I thought about picking Walker Zimmer to be boring again, but he's got it before. I don't think he's that good to win so many times. So I'm going to go Miles Robinson. Keeper of the year, which I'm assuming you're going to say Chris Brady because you had him in your MLS Best XI. I had Hugo Lloris, so we already got that. Golden Boot winner. And we also kind of mentioned, well, you mentioned here, you said Son Heung-min, which I think he'll probably be top 3.
He'll score those goals almost like it's like a Squid Game competition.
He looks like he should be in the Squid Game competition. I've never seen it, but every time I see it, all I see is Chinaman's on there. Golden Boot winner. You already said I had Messi. He won me a buddy last year, thanks to you. You said bet Messi to win the Golden Boot. I looked.
You're welcome.
And the odds were, I was like, whoa, because he was kind of behind because of like injuries or something. I don't know. He was behind, and then boom, 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 goal. And then it got real close at the end. He had like a brace or something or a hat trick. Boom. So thank you for that. Playoff predictions. You want to go first?
It's my predictions are pretty much first seeds do bad.
Wait, who'd you have for supporter shield for the West again?
I feel like San Diego will be knocked out before the playoffs even begin. It will be Houston that's going to win the Supporters Shield.
What?
But like I said, they're going to do poorly in the first round. They might win 2-1.
Yeah,
but
if they get the Supporters Shield, they probably will. They might be knocked out. They're not that good.
they're getting knocked out second round at the latest in the tournament. But I feel like I said, Charlotte's going to do good. I feel like the best challenger is definitely the Vancouver Whitecaps. They look solid this year to make a run back to the MLS Cup final. But
You're going wild. You're going wild this year. All right. So my playoff prediction, since I gave a whole 1 through 15, I'm just going to go in order of literally from wild card to the finals. So the wild card, I had New York City and Orlando. I'm going to go New York City. I already have Orlando too high as it should be. If they make it there and lose, I'll say, hey, it's not that bad of a year. And then first round, Miami's going to beat New York City. Cincinnati's going to beat the Chicago Fire. Columbus Crew's going to beat Philadelphia Union. And Charlotte's going to beat Nashville. And then quarterfinals, Miami versus Charlotte. I have Miami beating Charlotte and Columbus beating Cincy on the road. And then Eastern Conference Final, Inter Miami's going to beat the Columbus Crew. I think Inter Miami's going to the final. I already told you I think is going to win is LAFC, so that's going to be my finals prediction, but I'll give you the rest of my Western playoff prediction. Wild card, I had Dallas and Portland. I'm going to go Dallas. And then first round, LAFC is going to beat Dallas. Vancouver is going to beat Seattle. The Galaxy is going to beat Minnesota. And San Diego is going to beat Austin. Quarterfinals, LAFC versus San Diego. I have LAFC. And then LA Galaxy are going to beat the Vancouver Whitecaps in Vancouver. They're going to beat Mueller. They're going to beat Berhalter. They're going to beat White. They're going to pull something off, which means we got LA versus LA. I already said who I had. I'm going to go LAFC. I think Galaxy will be good again, though, but LAFC, they're going to go back to the title game, and they're going to beat Inter Miami.
how far do you think the American team in the CONCACAF Champions Cup will get this year?
So a lot of good teams are in there. I think they'll be fine. It's always going to be them in the mix. So you're going to get the Haitians out. You're going to get the Jamaicans out. You're going to get the Nicaraguas out. Whatever other countries they already started. I've been betting on the Mexicans against these random countries and Canada teams. They've just been beating them.
Yeah, they're an American team's going to get to the semifinals or the championship, and then they're going to get their head beat in by the Mexicans.
All right, anyways, is there anything else you wanted to wrap up before we end this thing?
Storylines, MLS storylines. Let's begin with Miami Freedom Park. They are going into Miami Freedom Park this season.
Couple months, right?
I feel like if there's a top 5 list of franchises to commit to with season tickets, it's definitely got to be number 1, Inter Miami, number 2, Bills, 3, Titans, 4, Athletics, and 5, Jaguars. Inter Miami, it's a good time to commit to season tickets. As we're speaking, it's February 12th, and they've just begun laying the seats down. Of course, last Saturday they held a ceremony that allowed season ticket holders to sit in the first seats. I'm definitely happy that Miami finally, after 11 years, got their stadium. It took 11 years of planning to get a stadium. That's absolutely insane.
Do you think when Messi retires, and do you think they will be bottom in attendance again?
No, Inter Miami's already changed the game for the MLS. People, especially
in a way, I'd agree for
Liga,
good reasons and bad reasons.
The La Liga players are going to be like, hey, the MLS is even better than the Saudi Pro League, especially Inter Miami. Why do I want to go to the middle of the desert when I could be in a city with casinos, hotels, great party life, and half the city speaks Spanish, so what more could you want? With Donald Trump once again being the president of the United States, do you think there's going to be a rampant uptick in number of left-wing political banners? Because the MLS, they ban political banners, but unless you're
left-wing, I do agree with, and I think it's very hypocritical. It makes me sick to see it. But even if I did see right-wing stuff, I'd say cool. But dude, I want to watch soccer. I already know people are probably gonna say Trump this, Trump that. I don't care. Trump has nothing to do with these problems that you say, and your little tifos and banners aren't gonna change nothing. All right, watch the game, enjoy the game, and root for your team.
They prepare to see a lot of anti-ice
Yep, and
banners.
I hope my team doesn't. I know my supporters group is very left wing. They actually haven't been too bad with them. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
If you somehow made it here, I don't know. Leave a comment who you think's gonna win or something. Yeah, thanks for watching. We might start this as a monthly segment. So hope to see you guys in the next episode. So this is it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, we'll catch you all later. Goodbye.